Hey, what's up guys, my name is Max and I make weekly running videos. Today's video is going to be my running recovery routine. I just want to acknowledge before we start that my recovery routine is by no means perfect, but hopefully you can learn a little technique that you can incorporate into your routine from today's video. But with that being said, let's get straight into this. Okay, so the tool I use most often for running recovery is the roller. So I have two of them here. This one I'm going to talk about my technique on it in a second. I use this like every day. And then this one's just like one that's good for traveling or just putting in my bag or using in the car or whatever, because you don't need to go on the ground. You can just do it like this. Like I can just roll my hip abductor here real quick. So yeah, that one's just useful to have really. But this one's the main one and I use this all the time like I said. But yeah, let's just get straight into my technique on it. So I'll start with, I do one leg at a time, so I'll actually go sideways for this so you can see it better. But yeah, so I'm going to start with my glutes and then I just cross my leg over and then just roll my glutes out like this, kind of going on the edge of the roller. And then I will probably do about 5 on that, but I'm going to go a bit quicker just because this is for the video. And then I'll do my hamstring, and again I'll probably do like 5 on those, but I'm gonna go through it quicker just because it's on video. So yeah, with the calf, you just put your calf down, and then if you want to apply more weight on it, which is really good, kind of painful, you just put your leg over it, adds a bit more weight. And then what you can do with a calf, which is so good for like shin splinty type injuries, is just taking your calf around, and again you can put your leg over, just really rolling that out, putting the weight on it. And then you can also do the outer bit of the calf, come around like that, putting your weight on it. And yeah, that's kind of painful, but it's a good kind of pain if you know what I mean. So yeah, that's what I'll do. So I do that on the other leg as well, but because it's on video, I'm gonna make it a bit quicker, not do it. But then what I do is I roll around to my front and get my quads. So again, I do it by leg. So I'll start with this right leg, just roll this right leg out. So I get into like a plank kind of position and then just start rolling back and forth with my left leg on the ground, just supporting. Yeah, so I again do that about 5 times. And then what you can do, which is good, is switch around and get the inside. So that will be like the hip abductor. And then after you've done the inside, you can actually move it round and do the IT band like this, which is one way of doing the IT band, which is quite good. And again, on those, I do it for longer and I'd switch leg, but because it's on video, I'll just show you that. And then the last thing that I do on the roller is I do my back. So this is actually so good. I'm just gonna switch around. So yeah, you start about here. Don't want to do your lower back, you just do the upper bit, and then like this, and then you put your arms like that, and yeah, my back's clicking pretty well. And then again, switch your arms, click your back on the other side, and then yeah, that's basically what I do on the roller. Okay, so that's what I do on the roller. I find these really good, and this is probably it is my top recovery tool. So if you haven't picked one of these up, I'll leave links in the description below, but really just search on Amazon foam roller and find one. I do actually have another one that's a bit harsher than this, but I way prefer this like softer one. If you're pretty tight, then you're probably gonna prefer a softer one, but if you're not, then get a hard one. But with that being said, let's move on to the next thing, which is stretching out my hip flexors. So here's the hip flexor stretch I do. So getting into the lunge position and then putting my hands on here, just feeling the stretch in my hip flexor, and then I'll just bring my arms over my head, and this just adds like some intensity to it. And you just try and hold this for about 30 seconds. And I find this is really good because my hip flexors get quite tight from if I've been sitting down all day or something like that. My hip flexors can get quite tight. And again, you do obviously both legs on that, but I just did one just to show you guys. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to show you in here is just putting my legs up and kind of getting the blood to flow to them. So I find this really useful if I've been sat down a lot in the day, and just like refreshing the blood, like kind of clearing my legs almost. But yeah, I'll show you that now. Okay, so I just finished doing that. So I just do that for like about 5 minutes, and I just like go on my phone as you saw. But yeah, the next thing I'm going to show you is pretty interesting, and I've just got this like little niggle / injury which has made me start doing this. So I'm going to go outside and show you what it is. Okay, so first thing you'll need is a bucket. Okay, now next thing is ice. And then last thing is water. Okay, so now what I have is basically just an ice bath but for my feet, and this is just super good because I've been struggling with like metatarsal pain and just foot pain in general, and it's just great to be able to ice your feet like this. So literally it's just obviously water, bucket, and then some ice, and then if I just take my sock off, oh, this is getting cold. Ooh. That is so cold, but it's kind of good at the same time. But yeah, then I just put my foot in here for like probably about 5 minutes, and then I'll change over to the other foot in a second. Alright, so that's 5 minutes done. So I'll switch onto the other foot, but I think that's been it for this video. I hope you've learned something that you can incorporate into your recovery routine. But like I say, I'm just going to do this other foot. So thank you for watching, and I've got to run. I'll see you in the next one.